Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation is the 29th stanza from a-sabad-a-day, the composition of the first Nanak in Rag Asa. And we'll go stanza by stanza. So the first recitation of the stanza. Tit Saravararai Bhaile Nivasa, Pani Pavak Tinhe Kiya, Pankaj Moh Pag Nahi Chala, Hum Dekha Te Dubile, Man Ek Na Chetas Mood Mana, Har Bisrat Tere Gun Galya Rahao, Na Ho Jati Sati Nahi Padya, Murakh Mugda Janam Bhaya, Ranvat Nanak Tin Ki Sarana, Jin Tu Nahi Visraya. So at the center of this short passage is the fact that Man ek na chetas mood mana, har bisrat tere gun galya rahao. The Guru is describing the state of our minds. He says, Man ek na chetas mood mana. The mind has lost awareness of the self, the har self, and as a result is in a stupor, mood mana. Har bisrat tere gun galya. Now, having forgotten the har self, the qualities, the self has become corrupted. So to lose self-awareness, man ek na chetas, simply means to be out of sync with your source, which is the har self, or to be moving at a rhythm that is out of step with reality, to be in a state of consciousness that is unaware, a different state of consciousness. And the state of consciousness that we are all ordinarily living in is haume. So Gurbani tells us that this falling out of rhythm or out of step kind of happens by design, and it happens at birth. Because how much aya, how much gaya. So we come bestowed with haume, the sense of a separate self. And haume, by its very nature, is selective and restricts our perception of reality. It registers only that which is useful for its survival and self-assertion. So really, it has a distorted view of reality. And that's the corrupting influence on our pristine qualities, gun galya, because remember, we are also born with that potential of the har. So our vision gets distorted, we go astray, and potential is wasted. That really is the central message. But he begins the passage by describing the ocean of existence, a pool. He likens the world to a pool, to a body of water. Tit Saravararai Bhaile Nivasa. In that ocean of existence, he says, Bhaile Nivasa is present, the one. In other words, the creator is in its creation, although it transcends its creation as well. So this is the same self who created the elements. Pani Pavak Tinhe Kiya. Now, Pani Pavak Tinhe Kiya could be read alternatively as not just the elements, but also the fire of desire and the symbol of Pani, symbolic of the mind. Pani Pavak Tinhe Kiya. So we can interpret this either way. I have chosen to interpret it together. Not only is the Creator responsible for creating the elements, but the Creator also disturbs the mind, which has been likened to a body of water, with the fire of desire. So water, like the mind, can flow uncontrolled and bring destruction in its wake. Or one can control its power and transmute it for useful purposes. Similarly, fire is better understood in this context of this sabad as desire, which can be useful or destructive depending on how or what that desire is. So the Guru says, Pankaj moho pag nahi challa. Pankaj is lotus and is symbolic of the self, the creator self within, the potential that we have. The Guru says, Pankaj moho, the self is stuck in the quicksand of desires, attachments, pag nahi challe, and cannot move. In other words, we cannot develop because we are stuck in the quicksand of desires. And the Guru says, look, hum dekhan tah dubiyale, I have seen multitudes drown in this water. And so how do we go about fixing this in a manner of speaking? Because the Guru says, I'm not an ascetic or a sage. Na ho jati sati, nahi padya, nor am I learned. Murak. The word murak generally means foolish, but more specifically, it means somebody who cannot articulate thoughts properly. And especially in the olden times, it used to mean someone who could not articulate or recite the Gayatri mantra. So in other words, one who is not cultured enough or cultivated in thought and speech is a murak. So the Guru is pointing to the practices then prevalent, jati sati, to be an ascetic, abstention of the senses, restraint, or a sage, a seeker. Nor am I learned. I do not recite the Gayatri. In other words, I'm not cultured. And I live in the stupor of ignorance. Mugdha janam bhaya. That's my state. How do I get out of this? Pranavat nanak tinki sarna jin tu nahi visraya. Pranavat nanak. I have the sanctuary at the feet of those tinki sarna who have been reunited with themselves. Jinatu nahi visraya. This is an indication, a signifier for the Guru. So the goal of Gurmat is to return the mind to its pristine state. In Gurbani, this is often described as a union or a reunion with the Creator Self, or to regain self-awareness. So we have to come out of the stupor we're in and find refuge with those who have perfected their awareness already, the Guru. On that note, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.